Hi there again. It's Ken Godevanis, and this is Kenny's Carrots with a K, K-A-R-A-T-S. This is number 3. This is where I share with you some tidbits that I've discovered that I find fascinating, and I hope you will. Thank you to all those that have been have started watching these, and I hope many more will join us. The tidbit I want to give you again today, and it'll be the same for a long time now as I read this big book that I'm reading. I don't know how many pages there is. Well, it's over 600 pages, 650 pages approximately. It's called Biblical Critical Theory by Chris Watkin. I recommend it highly. But here's the next little tidbit I have, and I'm still in the introduction. This is fantastic. He writes, given a choice between two camps or positions in our culture, the Bible frequently settles for neither and presents us with something richer than both, a subtler solution that neither position has the resources to imagine. Watkin is going to introduce us to what he calls diagonalization. Diagonalization. You can think of a diagonal line, think of being diagonalized. Time and again, he says, we see that the Bible's figures cut across the range of options presented to us, only to find, on further inspection, that those options presented to us in real life today were themselves distorted and dismembered versions of biblical ideas. This move of cutting across and rearranging false cultural dichotomies will return throughout these chapters as we read this book, and I'll be bringing you ideas on this, Kenny's Carrots. I will call, he says, diagonalization. It can vary from case to case, but it usually involves some idea that we have about something. Somebody else has a different idea of the same thing, and then the Bible comes across and diagonalizes those two ideas and puts them together for us beautifully. Well, I don't know how simple it'll be, but it will be beautiful. Once our antennas are out looking for this shape of thinking, we see it all over the Bible. And he goes on to say it resonates in so many things, including John Frame's observations that God's Word has a way of surprising us, of not fitting into our pre-arranged categories. And understanding God's will rarely means falling into lockstep with some popular ideology. It also is seen, he says, in the idea of Christianity as providing the third way that eschews dichotomied ideologies. In other words, very separate ideologies can be brought together in Christianity. I like what he says about John Stott. He says, John Stott's balanced Christianity, which when faced with a dichotomy such as that between conservative and radical, intellect and emotion, or form and freedom, finds truth not in the middle and not in one extreme, but in both extremes. This is what C.S. Lewis calls, quote, the blessedly two-edged character of Christianity. We want to make sure that when we look at these things, we're not looking. Don't think of diagonalization as a compromise. That's not what this is. But rather it's both things at the top of their energy, love and wrath both burning. As we shall see, diagonalization is not a safe compromise option, but a positive and viable third way. And the second misunderstanding that we want to make sure we understand, because Watkin is trying to make sure we don't miss out on this, is to avoid thinking that diagonalization is some cheap imitation of postmodernism, mixing the black and white colors of truth to make an indistinct muddy gray. That's not what we're looking for. The Christian will refuse to give absolute allegiance to any human ideology, value, or institution. And it's that refusal, Watkin says, that refusal and the affirmation of God on which it rests that give the Christian a wonderfully open but critical mind to engage with culture in all its diversity. In other words, if we begin and end with a black and white antithesis, God and creation, city of God and earthly city, as per Augustine's The City of God, we find many fine shades of gray in between. I look forward to sharing more of these thoughts with you. If you want to write to me, please do. It's Ken Good Evidence. Just write to Ken. My email address is kgod@accordconsulting.com. Please like our YouTube channel and subscribe to it, Digging for Scriptural Gems. Till next time.